Hi, this is a review of the Norida Beach Hotel. It's August 2023. Please don't bother with liking or subscribing. That's not what this is about. It's just an information video for you, really, just to see whether it's somewhere you'd like to take your family. I will be stopping and starting the footage, so if you pick that up, don't worry about it. It's just I don't want to include people who don't want to be included in the actual footage. So I'm just going to give you a quick panoramic view of the entrance area to the hotel. Okay, so the first thing to say is it's very windy. It's been windy virtually every day since we've been here, so please excuse the background noise. What I want to say to you is we booked a room which had a sea view, and it's basically right at the top of that hill there that you can see. Now those rooms are in the 500s. We expected to be basically on the beach, and we're not. We're a long way up that hill. We have walked it quite a lot, but we've ended up just giving up and taking buggy rides from the staff because it's quite a hike. So if you are looking to book here, be aware that if you get into the 500s, you are going to be up the top of that hill there. Okay, which, you know, might not seem a problem on the face of it, but after you've done it about 10 times, it is quite tiring. You can see in the background there the water slide pool. We've got 2 children with us, and they've really enjoyed the water slides. The staff are really great on the pool side. There's a bar on most pools, and they're very friendly, and you know, there's no issue with that. What I would say initially and straight away is that we've had a couple of issues with reception. It's not being picky, but it's just been a little bit tough sometimes with a couple of things. We've had a couple of things we wanted to sort out, which have been hard work to sort out. They sound on the surface not very important, but we are meant to have a fully stocked fridge in our room, and we've had to chase them several times to actually put some drinks in there, which you don't want to do when you're on holiday. You don't want to start chasing the staff for stuff, and the actual people who bring the stuff to you and everything are fantastic, but I think there's a bit of a disconnect with the reception, which maybe they want to have a look at. Another example, we booked a taxi the other day, and we waited an hour. The taxi still hadn't turned up, and when we went back to reception, they hadn't actually booked it. So yeah, that's not a moan, but it is a moan in the same breath. And I don't want to moan about anyone, because you know, they're all trying to do a good job, but it's not been an issue at other Mitsis hotels we've stayed at, but it is at this one, unfortunately. So anyway, but you know, generally staff are fantastic, really friendly, but bear that in mind that, you know, you might not get the best from the reception unless you really push for it. Okay, I'm going to take you inside, so this is going to be the first stop, and I'm just going to give you a panoramic shot of the entrance area. Okay, so this is the main lobby area. Okay, so then we have the main reception desk. You can see quite a few people are queuing here. That has been the same every time we've been anywhere near this reception. You will be doing some queuing because they are constantly busy. Maybe they just don't have enough staff on, or I don't know. But there's always a wait if you want to do anything involving the reception area or the concierge. Round here you can see some guys who are doing... Oh no, well, you could see some guys, but they've gone. So there's a booking area there for buggies and you know, quad bikes and whatever, if you want to go out with your family. I'll just show you these quickly. There's also a go-kart track nearby if you've got children that you want to take. The prices aren't too bad. You're probably looking at 140 euros for an entire day with a up-to-date Polaris buggy. So that's not too bad. The whole hotel is generally very clean. Down there you have a couple of gift shops. The gift shops are not very cheap, but they've got everything in there you need if you forget anything, toiletry wise, and also they've got a good range of beach clothing and sun creams. And then there's a jewellers, which is quite standard in the Mitsis hotel. And also this is quite a nice little touch which our children are enjoying. This room isn't open at the moment, but it's an actual tea room, and in there you get all different types of biscuits and treats for the children, as well as coffee and drinks for the adults, which is nice. And then we have one of the main bars through there, which you can see. The bars are often quite busy, but the staff are brilliant. Okay, so this is now outside the bar area, which I just showed you. So there's the bar, and we've come outside. So this is the main outside area where the evening entertainment happens. And as you can see, it's very clean, it's very nice. It has been very windy the whole time we've been here, but in some respects that's been quite nice because it's so hot. I think it's averaged about 34 every day, which can be quite oppressive. And the breeze has helped to cool it down. So where those palm trees are is basically where the entertainment is in the evenings. There's been a live rock group who were on the other night, and they were absolutely fantastic. You know, you could go to a stadium and watch them. They were that good. Lead guitarist, you know, bass, and a drummer, but they were belting out some of the really big hits, and they were really good because some, as we all know, some hotel entertainment can be quite tragic, really. In fact, we've always laughed that, you know, sometimes when it's that bad, it's good, because you just think, wow, yeah, won't see that again in my life. So yeah, and behind here, as you can see above the hotel, which I don't know if I showed you earlier. I think I did. You caught it in the other footage, but there's a huge hill range, and this is one of about 4 Mitsis hotels that are on this patch. This is a 5-star. The Blue Dome is an even better version, because that's part of the Mitsis club. So they have better lounges, you know, better facilities. Now what I would say, as I'm trying to show you slightly a bit of the sea, hang on. What I would say is that the beach here is nice in the fact that the water is extremely clear, but the beach is shingle. It is shingle, and it's hard on your feet. So just bear that in mind. If you want a sandy beach, this isn't it. But the water is crystal clear when you get in there, and there are fish immediately when you get in. So it's lovely water, but getting in, it's a bit of a mission. Right, let me just show you further up this area here where there is a crepe bar and the main restaurant. So at the end of the entertainment area, there's a creperie and another bar, which is inside there. That's a very good bar. The queue doesn't seem to be too long there. Like I said, there's often a bit of a wait for drinks. And then obviously we'll be heading back down here in a minute, down to the pool area. There's about 5 pools, which are all pretty good, no problems at all. Now this creperie, or creperie, whichever way you want, now that has had little issue for us. Again, don't want to sound like a moan, but there's a little roped off area near it with about 5 tables, and if you want to go up there, they also do ice cream, which is fine. You can walk up and get an ice cream, but if you want to actually sit down, there's very limited tables, so you can stand in that doorway there and wait about 3.5 years until somebody actually eats their crepes, and then you can go and sit down there. But the tables are very limited, and that made it quite hard the other day. Again, don't want to moan, but you know, it was a bit of a pain when you've got kids there wanting to sit down. So let me show you the restaurant area anyway. So that's the main foyer bar that I spoke to you about a second ago. And then in the entrance area, heading down to the restaurant, there is a cash point. Now that cash point there, you can take some money out of it, but it will charge you £10 English, which it doesn't tell you, but that will take £10 out of your bank on top of what you withdraw. So if you're going to withdraw something, withdraw a decent amount. Okay, now that's the outside area through the glass of the restaurant. That's been very nice in the evenings when it's been windy, because it's been cool. The restaurant is air conditioned, but not to a high standard, so you are quite sweaty in there. Okay, that's not going to work because they've shut the doors. So behind there is your main restaurant, which is really quite large. They've got an excellent arrangement of food, including several types of meat, loads of salad, good, you know, just general buffet food. This outside eating area that I was speaking to you about is also brilliant in the evenings, because you do get that lovely sea view, and you also get a view over to Turkey, which you can see over there. Now, Turkey, that's another thing I want to speak to you about, because we did the day trip yesterday and we went to Bodrum from here. We booked it through the hotel. It was £45 per person. There was a huge amount of queuing. When you got to the port area, so the bus picked you up, you got to the port area, but you stood there in the blazing sun for about 50 minutes. It seemed to be completely unorganised and an absolute free-for-all. Nobody sort of knew who was getting on what boat and when. People were buying vouchers and then queuing up and then being told nearly when they were at the point of getting onto the ships that you had to go back and get your voucher validated. So there were definitely people who missed the ferry. You can see out there, hang on, I'll try and zoom in a bit. Okay, so you can see there are jet skis and boats. Now, with the water sports, the jet skis are £60 for 15 minutes or €60, which is standard across Kos. They have some pedalos, some of which are humorously shaped as flamingos with slides. They are £30 for an hour. But you can get 4 on there, so that's not too bad for an hour of family entertainment. And there is paragliding, but we've had such strong winds that it's been very dependent on weather. Right, let's show you some of the pools. Okay, so this is the pool area. This is going to be slightly stop-start, but just bear with me. Okay, so you've got 5 pools. They're all fairly busy. Now, one of these pools has a sort of artificial beach on it, which the kids have enjoyed, but I don't think it's a particularly clean pool. Well, that's just due to the setup of it with the sand and everything. Okay, let's try and take you down to one of the other ones, okay? Getting loungers hasn't been too much of an issue. Okay, so this is a walkway down to one of the pools that we've been staying at a lot. Okay, so we're heading down towards the pool I was speaking about. I had to cut off there because I was about to include a German into it, and I don't think he wanted to be in it. So, looking back at the hotel, okay, that's going back up to the main reception area. The hotel's definitely well maintained. Oh, you can see the mountain ridge there that I was on about. Okay, so up there on that pool, they've actually got some igloo sunbeds. I suppose Holibobs, you'll see them. Again, sorry if there's any background noise, but the wind is really quite strong. Okay. Right, let me get down to the actual pool. Right, okay, this is the pool that we've actually been spending most of our time at. There's a fair amount of children in it, but they're not an issue. And the pool has a little bar, as you can see over there, which serves most things. Right, okay, another slight moan. The lager, if you're a lager person, is not great, and the wine, white wine, which the ladies have been drinking, is a bit dubious, to say the least. We've actually gone and bought our own wine, but apart from that, all good. Right, let me just pause a second. Okay, sorry, I was just speaking to an American friend who we're staying with. Okay, so these are the rooms that go up again with this hotel, and then it merges into a different hotel at the end there, which you can see the yellow building. But like I say, this is the main pool area we've been at, and we're very happy with it. It's got everything we need, showers, and we are quite close to the sea from here. And we've been mixing between the sea and the poolside. So let me just walk you down, and I'll show you on the way. As you can see, it's lovely and clean. It's really, yeah, it's very tidy. You're not looking and thinking it's, a bit rough. It's definitely not that. I'll show you that beach in a minute. Okay, so here we have, right, these gates. Okay, now this restaurant here, you can see, is fairly large. Let me just try and get a view through the bars for you. Right, okay, so this is 3 restaurants into one. You've got the Smoky Grill, you've got the fish restaurant, and the Pan Asian. Okay, now you can, if you're all inclusive, which I presume you're going to be, you can book one of these each per week during your stay, and it's a lovely restaurant to go into. Sorry about the gates, it looks like you're going into jail, but actually it's really nice. They have live music on while you're eating, and this is one of my favourite things. The ceiling moves with the wind, look. So you feel like you're on a sailboat. Well, sort of. So this restaurant here, we've used the Smoky Grill, which was, oh, this is going to sound like a whinge, isn't it? It was okay, but it wasn't great. The buffet's really good, so when you come to the grill, you think it's going to be a bit special, but it wasn't in particular. But I don't know. It was like the buffet food had been moved into the grill area, and you just had what you was going to have in the buffet anyway. But all hope is not gone, because we're going to come and have the fish restaurant experience tonight, and hopefully that will be better. Again, all the staff are friendly. It's just the buffet is great, so it's got a lot to live up to. And then down these steps here we have the beach. Give you a bit of a view up the beach. Okay, so going back to what I said earlier, every day has been extremely windy, which has meant some of the options for sports have been cancelled because it's been too windy to let the humorous pink flamingos out, and they do have the banana boat sort of dinghy thing that gets dragged behind. That might be out. Oh no, it's not out. The jet skis are going, but my son and my friend are going paragliding later. But they have said to us, if it's windy, there'll be a point where they won't go, which is fine. So, but that goes back to the wind being a bit of an issue. Now that water is really clear. It's quite cold, but not in enough way to be a problem to you. but the banana boat's going out, I think. But that beach, which I can't really scroll down to too much. Okay, so there's one walkway down there to the actual entrance. Now that beach is very gritty, and as long as you've got your flip-flops on, you know, you'll be okay. But if you haven't got flip-flops on, you will come out of there with hideously deformed feet, because the sand is going to remove every bit of skin you have. It is sharp. Plenty of sun loungers. The beds are okay, but a bit tired. If you feel like spending a bit more, you can go up to the Blue Dome, which is the other Mitsis up the road, where you will get a sunbed that is of a better quality. But then, how much do you want to pay for a better sunbed? Because actually, this is pretty darn good where you are. There's one of the jet skis coming in. Let me see if I can show you slightly closer what I mean about the beach. Okay, so the beach area is busy, but there are lots of brollies. And as I pan round, we're going to come up to the pool bar. Now, as you can see, there is a queue for the bar, and that is pretty consistent. You are not going to walk up and just get your drink straight away. You are going to have to queue. Okay, let me try and show you what I mean about the sand. Hang on. Okay, so you can see it's not sand, is it? It's gravel or grit, basically. But like I say, if you don't mind a bit of gritty sand, they do provide walkways. Up there is another bar and a toilet area, and also they do have a hot dog stand and a I can't remember what they call it, gyro, where you get the meat in the pita bread. That's up there as well. They're on the beach and they're lovely. My son's eaten about 7,000 hot dogs and he's very happy. So yeah, blisteringly hot. When I'm panning this around, it feels like this is extremely busy, and it wasn't as busy as this, but it is looking very busy now. But don't let that put you off, because there are plenty of sunbeds, and the sea, once you get over the initial shock, is actually lovely and it's crystal clear. Okay, so I'm going to end the review now. I've left the beach and I've had my feet bandaged by the on-site medics, and they're okay. The bleeding has stopped, and I'm going to finish off by showing you a particularly attractive pot. You can tell I'm running out of things to say. So yeah, on a serious note, really good. Not the cheapest holiday, actually, considering what we've got. I think we've paid about £5,800 for 10 days for 2 adults and a child. We have met up with some friends and we have enjoyed it. Not the best one ever, but definitely not the worst. Really clean, which I like because I've got OCD, so I like everywhere to be spotless. And the room, when I first went in there, I opened the bathroom door, and the door sort of hit the wall, and I was quite depressed because I thought, oh god, it's going to be a really small bathroom. But actually, you get used to it, don't you? The main thing is the room is clean, and the cleaners are on it. When you arrive, you will get a fully stocked minibar, which will include a bottle of wine. Now, the bottle of wine is only for the first day on arrival, so don't go ringing them up and chase. Oh, there's a paraglider there. Hang on. Let's just see if I can zoom in. Oh, hang on. I think he's just crashed violently into the sea. Is he still alive? Hang on. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there he is. He's not dead. Yeah, it's not the biggest room. We've just been lucky enough to do the Maldives, and that was epic. So I suppose you're always going to be on a bit of a downer after doing something like the Maldives. But it's definitely. Oh, there's the child. It's a lovely, clean hotel. The staff are great. The reception's not. But apart from that, yeah, I think that's about all really. When you go to Turkey, it is like an extreme sport. If you want to go and do some shopping, be prepared to be dragged into every shop by your throat, and they almost lock the door behind you, and you think you're going to end up in a video, because it is, yeah, horrendously compared. I thought the Egyptians were bad for it, but the Turks have taken it to a new level. You know, we've bought items of clothing that we don't even need just to get out, but we are safe, and I want to pass that on to my family. And we have survived the shopping, but it is full on. But then, you know, it's an experience. But you will be queuing forever in the sun to get on the ferry. It is massively disorganised. But when you do get there, you can buy some extremely good copies of your favourite clothing. Tommy Hilfiger, Nicky, Calvin Klein, you know, all the top stuff. And no, joking aside, they're actually great. My lad's just bought a alleged Nike tracksuit. He said it's a tech gear, whatever that means, and he's very pleased with it. And I'm hoping that the badge won't fall off on the first wash, and he will actually get some life out of it. The guy in the shop bartered me down from £7,000 to €30, which took some doing. He even managed to involve his mother in the conversation, which was scary. But yeah, it was all right. And but you, oh my word, honestly, if you've never shopped in a Turkish bazaar, get in there, brace yourself. But anyway, back to the holiday. If you want to come here, we would probably recommend the Blue Dome rather than this one, because that seems to have better facilities. But if that's going to be at your price range, which it might well be because it's a lot more expensive, the Mitsis Norida is a very good option, and the staff are lovely. It's a very clean hotel. The rooms aren't massive. If you've had bigger rooms on previous holidays, be prepared, you might get a smaller one here. And remember that we were in room 500 upwards, which involved a 7-mile Nepalese hike every time you finished your evening meal, which, you know, left us quite distressed. And I think I cried twice because I could no longer breathe by the time I got to the top. But the buggy guys can see that you're upset, and they will take you. So anyway, whatever, enjoy.